Some Harley secrets are buried in the factory, others in the stories of riders who've been there. We've gathered 21 of the best, and most of them never make it to the showroom floor. Watch through to the end because the last secret could be the ride changer you've been waiting for. Number 21. Harley-Davidson, the rain sock rule. Every Harley needs to breathe, and nothing chokes a motor faster than a rain sock left on when the skies are clear. This little mesh cover is designed for one job: to keep water out of your air cleaner when you are riding in the rain. That is it. Yet plenty of new riders leave it on all season, not realizing it restricts airflow and robs the engine of its full voice. The right move is to keep it in your saddlebag, ready for the moment dark clouds roll in. Slip it on when you need it. Take it off when you do not. That way, your motor gets the air it craves, your throttle stays crisp, and you still have protection when the weather turns nasty. It is a simple habit, but one that separates the riders who know their machines from the ones still figuring them out. On a Harley, every breath counts. Give yours the air it deserves. Number 20. Harley-Davidson, the Octane sweet spot. Fuel might seem simple. Just fill the tank and ride. But on a Harley, the octane you choose shapes how your motor runs, how it sounds, and how long it lasts. These machines are built to run on premium fuel, specifically in the 91 to 93 octane range. Drop below that, and you invite knocking, hotter operating temps, and sluggish performance. You might not notice it on a short cruise, but stretch the miles or twist the throttle hard, and the difference becomes clear. Premium fuel burns cleaner, keeps your engine cooler, and preserves that strong, steady pull Harley riders love. It is not about chasing horsepower. It is about giving the motor the diet it was built for. Every tank is a choice between running at your best or slowly wearing your engine down. Respect the octane sweet spot, and your Harley will reward you with smoother rides, longer life, and the confidence that every mile is backed by the fuel it deserves. Number 19. Harley-Davidson, the Audible alarm advantage. A good lock might keep honest people honest, but a loud siren can make a thief think twice before even touching your bike. Many Harleys come with a security system that flashes the lights if someone tampers with it. That is fine, but in a crowded parking lot, flashing lights can go unnoticed. Add the Audible alarm, and suddenly any unwanted attention becomes everyone's business. The sharp, unmistakable sound will draw eyes fast, and most would-be thieves will move on to an easier target. It is a simple upgrade that works whether you are parked outside a diner, at a hotel on a road trip, or in your own driveway overnight. For a rider who has invested time, money, and miles into a machine, protecting it is not optional. The Audible alarm is not just about noise. It is about buying yourself time and attention when you need it most. On a Harley, peace of mind is worth every ounce of security you can give it. If these Harley secrets are striking a chord, hit the like button. It's the clearest sign you want more real, road-tested wisdom. Then drop a comment telling me which tip or story stood out most for you. Your insight might be exactly what another rider needs before their next journey, and together we keep this Harley brotherhood rolling strong across every mile of the open road ahead. Number 18. Harley-Davidson kickstand and clutch safety. Starting your Harley is second nature once you have done it 100 times, but doing it wrong can cause trouble in an instant. These bikes have enough torque to jump forward if they are in gear and the clutch is not pulled in. That sudden lurch can catch even seasoned riders off guard, leading to a stall, a scare, or worse. The smart habit is simple. Clutch in every time you hit the starter, no matter what. It keeps the bike steady, the start smooth, and you in full control. The kickstand is another detail worth noting. You can start the engine with it down, but be mindful when shifting into gear. Most Harleys are built to kill the motor if the stand is still out. That is a safety feature, not an inconvenience. These small steps might feel routine, but they are the kind of habits that separate riders who keep things under control from those who learn their lessons the hard way. On a Harley, control is everything. Every mile feels better with the right gear. Gloves, jackets, and essentials, find them in the description. Number 17. Harley-Davidson mastering the handlebar lock. Sometimes the simplest tools are the most effective, and the handlebar lock is a perfect example. It is not fancy, it is not high-tech, but it adds a solid layer of security every time you walk away from your bike. By turning the bars fully to the left, Switching the ignition to the lock position and engaging it with the barrel key, you make it far harder for anyone to roll your Harley away. It is quick, it is mechanical, and it works. Too many riders skip this step, trusting that a parking spot in plain view or a short stop means the bike is safe. But opportunity is all a thief needs, and a locked set of bars can turn them toward an easier target. Pair the handlebar lock with good parking choices and, if possible, an audible alarm, and you are stacking the odds in your favor. It is a small ritual, but on a Harley, every precaution counts when it comes to keeping your ride where you left it. Number 16. HarleyDavidson Accessory Mode. There are times when you want power without the rumble. Accessory Mode gives you just that. The ability to run your electronics without firing up the engine, whether you are setting up your navigation, enjoying music at a roadside stop, or charging your phone before heading out. It keeps everything running quietly and efficiently. To use it, keep the fob close. Turn the ignition all the way to the right and you are in business. No idling, no wasted fuel, and no extra heat rolling off the motor while you sit still. It is a small feature, but one that can make pre-ride prep or post-ride wind down a lot more comfortable. Many riders overlook it, starting the engine for simple tasks and putting unnecessary time on the clock. Accessory mode is about convenience, but it is also about knowing your bike and using every tool it offers. On a Harley, the ride is the main event. This feature just makes the moments around it a whole lot easier. Number 15. HarleyDavidson, the kill switch ritual. Shutting down a Harley is not just about turning a key, it is about doing it in the right order. Seasoned riders know the kill switch should be your first move. Flipping it cuts the engine instantly, keeping the electrical system stable and ready for the next start. Only after that do you turn the ignition to the off position. This habit is not just about smooth operation, it is also about muscle memory. In an emergency, reaching for the kill switch without thinking can stop the engine faster than fumbling for the key. It is a habit that translates across every ride, whether you are cruising a quiet back road or navigating heavy traffic. Many new riders ignore it, using only the key, but that means losing the quick access advantage when it matters most. On a Harley, control is more than how you ride, it is how you start and stop. The kill switch ritual keeps you sharp, consistent, and ready for anything the road throws your way. Number 14. HarleyDavidson, your PIN code Lifeline. Every rider hopes to never need it, but having a personal identification number set on your Harley can mean the difference between riding home and calling for a tow. If your key fob is lost, damaged, or its battery dies, that PIN is your backup key. By using the turn signal controls, you can enter the code directly into the bike system and fire up the engine without the fob. It is a process that takes only minutes to set up but can save you hours of frustration. Too many riders put it off, assuming it will never happen to them until the day it does. The smart move is to set your code now and store it somewhere safe, like in your phone or with someone you trust. That way, no matter where you are, you have the power to get back on the road. On a Harley, independence is everything, and your PIN code is the ultimate insurance policy for staying in control. Number 13. HarleyDavidson Transport Mode. Trailering your Harley without the right preparation can leave you with a dead battery before you even arrive. The culprit is the security system's motion sensors, which stay active and keep the lights flashing with every bump of the road. Transport mode solves this by temporarily disabling those sensors while keeping the bike secure. Activating it is quick. Turn the ignition on, then off, press both turn signals, and wait for the confirmation on the display. Once you reach your destination, simply cycle the ignition again to return to normal operation. This small step not only preserves battery life but also spares you the annoyance of unnecessary alarms on the trip. Many riders forget it exists, only to learn the hard way when their bike refuses to start at the end of a haul. Knowing how to use transport mode is about more than convenience. It is about arriving ready to ride. On a Harley, the road should begin where the trailer ends, not at the battery charger. Number 12. HarleyDavidson Cruise Control Mastery. Cruise control on a Harley is more than a comfort feature. It is a tool for riding smarter. On long stretches of open road, it lets you lock in a steady speed, conserve fuel, and reduce fatigue in your throttle hand. What many riders overlook is how precise it can be. You can fine-tune your speed in single mile-per-hour increments with a quick tap of the control or resume your last setting after slowing down. Need to pass. Roll on the throttle, make your move, and release. The bike will drop right back to your set pace. Disengaging is just as simple. Touch either brake, pull in the clutch, or roll the throttle forward. The beauty of cruise control is in the control it gives you, allowing you to focus on the road ahead instead of constantly adjusting your wrist. Used well, it turns long miles into smooth, effortless travel. On a Harley, that means you arrive more relaxed, more alert, and ready for the next stretch of highway. Number 11. Harley-Davidson Engine Heat Management System. Slow-moving traffic and sweltering summer days can turn the space between your legs into an oven. Harley's engine heat management system is built to handle that, protecting both rider comfort and engine health. When activated, it shuts down the rear cylinder while idling, cutting heat output without affecting performance once you roll on the throttle. You can turn it on or off by rolling the throttle forward while the bike is at a complete stop. It is one of those features you might forget about until you need it, but once you have used it in heavy traffic or during a long parade ride, you will not want to go without it. Less heat means less fatigue, clearer focus, and a more enjoyable ride when the weather is working against you. On a Harley, comfort is not a luxury. It is a part of endurance. Mastering the engine heat management system is just another way to make sure you and your bike are both running cool mile after mile. Number 10. HarleyDavidson built-in trickle charger port. A dead battery can end a ride before it begins, especially after your bike has been sitting for weeks. That is why the built-in trickle charger port is one of the most overlooked yet valuable features on a Harley. Tucked away, often near the left side cover, this port is ready to connect directly to a battery maintainer without removing panels or seats. It keeps your battery at a healthy charge during the off-season or any extended downtime, so your bike is always ready to fire up. Using it is as simple as plugging in after a ride and disconnecting before you roll out. No fuss, no disassembly, and no wrestling with cables under the seat. Riders who use their trickle charger port regularly avoid the frustration and cost of unexpected battery replacement. It is a small piece of engineering that delivers big returns and reliability. On a Harley, readiness matters, and a battery that turns over strong is the first step to every great ride. Number 9. Harley-Davidson tip-over mode reset. Even the most careful rider can have a moment when the bike tips over. When that happens while the engine is running, Harley's safety systems step in and shut the motor down, entering what is called tip-over mode. It is designed to prevent damage and protect the rider, but it also means the bike will not restart until you reset it. The process is quick. Turn the ignition off, switch it back on, and press both turn signal buttons at the same time. This clears the mode and allows the engine to fire up again. Knowing this trick can save you from unnecessary panic, especially if it happens far from home or in front of an audience. Every rider hopes they will never need it, but having it in your back pocket is part of being prepared. On a Harley, control is not just about keeping the bike upright, it is about knowing how to get rolling again when things do not go as planned. Number 8. Harley-Davidson 4-way flasher quirk. Hazard lights are simple on most vehicles. Switch them on, switch them off. On a Harley, there is a small twist that can trip up riders who have not run into it before. If you turn on your 4-way flashers and then shut off the ignition, the lights will keep flashing. Pressing the hazard button again will not stop them until the bike is powered back on. The fix is easy. Turn the ignition to the on position, hit the hazard switch, and the lights will shut down as expected. This quirk is built into the system, and while it can be confusing the first time you encounter it, it is not a flaw. It is a safeguard to keep your hazards active in certain roadside situations. Knowing how to turn them off properly saves your battery and spares you the head-scratching moment of wondering why they are still blinking. On a Harley, even the small details matter, and this is one worth remembering. Number 7. Harley-Davidson always top off before storage. When the riding season winds down or you know your Harley will sit for weeks, topping off the tank is more than just a courtesy, it is protection. An empty or partially filled tank can collect condensation, especially in cooler weather. That moisture can lead to rust inside the tank and degraded fuel when it is time to ride again. Filling the tank completely before storage reduces the airspace where condensation can form. Adding a quality fuel stabilizer keeps the gasoline fresh, prevents varnish buildup, and ensures your engine runs clean when spring rolls around. It is a small job that takes only a few minutes but saves you from the hassle of rough starts, clogged injectors, or costly repairs later. Many riders skip this step, assuming fuel is fuel, but seasoned owners know better. On a Harley, preparation is part of the lifestyle, and giving your bike a full treated tank before it rests is one of the easiest ways to make sure it wakes up ready to ride. Number 6. Harley-Davidson tire pressure discipline. Tire pressure might seem like a small detail, but on a Harley, it plays a huge role in how your bike handles, stops, and wears over time. Underinflated tires can make the steering feel heavy, reduce cornering confidence, and cause the rubber to overheat. Overinflated tires can feel harsh and lose traction when you need it most. Checking your pressure regularly, ideally before long rides or at least once a week, keeps your handling sharp and your tread life long. Always measure when the tires are cold and use the manufacturer's recommended settings for your model. It is a habit that takes less than 5 minutes, yet pays off in performance, safety, and savings. On a Harley, the connection between you and the road runs straight through those 2 patches of rubber. Keep them in top shape and every mile will feel better, safer, and more in control. Tire pressure discipline is not just maintenance, it is part of riding like a pro. Number 5. Harley-Davidson key fob awareness. The modern Harley key fob adds convenience, but it can also catch riders off guard. With keyless ignition, you can start the bike as long as the fob is nearby, even if you accidentally leave it in your garage or jacket pocket at home. The trouble starts when you stop somewhere, shut off the engine, and realize you cannot restart without the fob. That is why seasoned riders make a habit of confirming they have it before every trip, not just at the start of the day. Some even keep a spare battery for the fob tucked in their gear, since a dead one can strand you just as quickly. Harley's security system is built to protect your investment, but it depends on that little piece of tech being with you. Treat it with the same attention you give your wallet and phone. On a Harley, the ride begins with the turn of a switch, and that switch starts with your key fob in hand. Number 4. Harley-Davidson warm-up wisdom. There is a certain pride in hearing that Harley rumble first thing in the morning, but giving the engine a moment to settle before you roll off is more than just tradition. It is mechanical respect. Harley engines are built with tight tolerances, and when cold, the oil is thicker and not yet fully circulated. Letting the bike idle for 30 to 60 seconds allows the oil to reach every moving part, reducing wear and ensuring smoother performance. You do not need a long warm-up. Too much idling can actually cause carbon buildup, but that brief pause pays off in longevity. Think of it as letting the bike clear its throat before speaking in its full voice. Experienced riders know that patience here means fewer problems down the road. On a Harley, every ride is a conversation between man and machine, and starting it right sets the tone for the miles ahead. Number 3. Harley-Davidson battery tender habit. Harleys are known for their strong starts and steady power, but even the best battery will drain if left unattended for too long. Cold weather, short rides, or long stretches in storage can quietly sap its charge. That is why veteran riders swear by keeping a battery tender connected whenever the bike is parked for more than a week. This small device keeps the battery at optimal charge without overloading it, ensuring the bike fires up instantly when you are ready to ride. It also helps extend the battery's lifespan, saving you from the frustration and expense of premature replacement. The process takes seconds. Plug in the tender's lead, connect it to your garage outlet, and let it do its work. On a Harley, reliability is part of the pride, and nothing feels worse than gearing up for a ride only to hear a weak crank. A battery tender is not just a tool, it is a promise your bike will always answer the call. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Clean Belt. Smooth ride. The final drive belt on a Harley is built to last tens of thousands of miles, but it still demands respect. Road grit, small stones, and debris can lodge between the belt and pulleys, leading to premature wear or even damage. A quick inspection after long rides, especially in dusty or gravel-strewn areas, can save you from bigger problems later. Use a soft brush or gentle rinse to remove buildup and check for cracks or fraying along the edges. Proper belt tension is equally important. Too loose and it can skip teeth, Too tight and it can strain bearings. Experienced riders treat this as part of their post-ride ritual, the same way they might check their oil or lights. It is a small effort that protects one of the bike's most critical components. On a Harley, smooth power delivery is part of the magic, and a clean, well-maintained belt ensures that every twist of the throttle feels as good as it should. You've ridden with me through nearly every secret, which means you ride with purpose. Before we hit the final one, subscribe right now so you never miss another deep dive into Harley heritage, tips, and truths. This channel is built for riders who value the journey, the brotherhood, and staying ahead every single mile, through every curve and straight away the open road throws your way. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Parking Position Mastery. Where and how you park your Harley can make the difference between a perfect start to the ride and a frustrating, muscle-straining ordeal. Seasoned riders know to choose a spot with a slight incline facing uphill, allowing the bike to rest securely on its kickstand without fear of rolling. If parking downhill is unavoidable, position the bike in gear to prevent movement. Always think about your exit strategy. Backing a heavy Harley uphill on gravel or hot asphalt can be a sweaty challenge. On scorching days, avoid fresh pavement that can soften and let the stand sink, risking a tip-over. A small portable kickstand puck can be a lifesaver here. Parking is not just about stopping, it is about setting up for the next ride with confidence and ease. On a Harley, even at rest, the bike tells a story. And smart parking ensures it is a story you control from the first twist of the throttle to the last. We've reached the end of this ride, but the road ahead is wide open. If these Harley secrets sparked something in you, whether it was a reminder of why you ride or a new tip you can't wait to try, make sure you're part of this crew for the long haul. Hit that subscribe button now so you never miss the next deep dive into the power, heritage, and freedom that defines our way of life. Share this video with a fellow rider who deserves to know what you now know. The open road rewards those who are ready. So gear up, stay sharp, and let's keep the Harley spirit alive. Mile after mile, throttle wide, eyes forward.